In the intricate world of Game of Thrones, characters often fall into distinct categories of hero or villain, their moral compass guiding their every action. However, one character challenges this simplistic view, often presenting himself in the grey area. He's the star of today's show, Ser Alliser Thorne. In this video we will delve deeper the complex circumstances that shaped his character. From his noble background to his tumultuous experiences beyond the Wall, we will explore the reasons behind Ser Alliser's animosity towards Jon Snow, and the recruits of the Night's Watch. Additionally, we will explore the moments that exhibit his honor, duty, and the sacrifices he made for what he believed was the greater good, irrespective of the consequences such actions bore. Let's begin. Why is Alliser Thorne so mean? Ser Alliser Thorne was the stern, no-nonsense guy of the Night's Watch. And of course, he's not exactly Mr. Sunshine and Rainbows, but let's give credit where it's due. Despite his grumpy exterior, he's not inherently evil or out to be a total jerkwad. So, why the constant beef with Jon Snow and the other recruits? Well, it seems to stem from his noble background and his disdain for how the Night's Watch has become a dumping ground for criminals. Furthermore, House Thorne was pledged to the Targaryens, but Robert's rebellion led to the fall of the dynasty. And it was Ned Stark who played a major role in bringing down the Targaryen Empire. Following this, Thorne was sent atop the wall. So yes, there's some serious bad blood there. On top of all that, Thorne's had a traumatizing experience beyond the wall. So when he's in charge of training new recruits, he is anything but kind. Just ask poor Samwell Tarly, who got the special treatment in the courtyard.
On your feet, pick up your sword. Hit him till he finds his feet.
But is there any silver lining? There's a glimmer of decency in there somewhere. Despite his flaws, Thorne's actually dedicated to protecting the Wall and the Seven Kingdoms. He may do some questionable things in the process, like killing a Lord Commander every once in a while, but hey, he doesn't do it out of malice. He truly believes in his cause. Thorne's got mad respect for Maester Aemon and Corran Halfhand, even admitting to Jon that he considered Corran a brother. Furthermore, when it's battle time, Thorne doesn't shy away.
Tonight we fight! And when the sun rises, I promise you, Castle Black will stand! The Night's Watch will stand!
He leads the Night's Watch into the thick of things, facing off against wildlings and even going one-on-one with Tormund Giant Spain. That takes some serious cojones, my friends. Before the big showdown, he even has a heart-to-heart with Jon, sharing some leadership wisdom and trying to boost his morale. It's like a gruff version of a pep talk. He's not all scowls and frowns, after all. So, Alliser Thorne may not be the poster child for sunshine and rainbows, but he didn't kill Gilly and the baby, despite his deep hatred for the wildlings. Yes, he was never sweet to her, but in his own way, he ensured their safety. The real reason why Thorne planned the assassination of Jon. Thorne is a guy who's willing to do whatever it takes to protect the realm. And in his grumpy eyes, Jon committed the ultimate betrayal by letting the wildlings pass through the wall.
It'll get us all killed.
You see, keeping those wildlings out was like the Night's Watch's whole raison d'etre. It was the reason they shed blood, sweat, and tears, and probably a fair amount of frostbite. So when Jon pulls a backflip and welcomes the wildlings with open arms to save them from the icy wrath of the White Walkers, Thorne's head practically explodes.
He let the wildlings through our gates, as no Lord Commander has ever done before. He gave them the very land on which they reaved and raped and murdered.
In his eyes, Jon just broke the sacred trust and spat on the graves of their fallen comrades. Now, let's not sugarcoat it, Thorne might have been a bit short-sighted here. His deep-seated hatred for the wildlings blinded him to the true danger that was creeping closer to Westeros. So when it came time to mutiny against Jon, it wasn't out of pure spite or envy. Thorne did what he did out of sheer anger and grief for his fallen brothers. His words, "for the Watch," were like a battle cry from a man pushed to the brink. He genuinely believed he was doing what was right for the Night's Watch, even if it meant sticking a sword in Jon's gut. His short-sightedness killed him.
You brought an army of wildlings into our lands. An army of murderers and raiders. If I had to do it all over, knowing where I'd end up, I pray I'd make the right choice again.
Ser Alliser Thorne will probably be remembered as the man who just couldn't see the bigger picture. Duty and honor were his life, but he completely gave up on reason and strategic thinking. In his final moments, Thorne had a serious introspective session. He realized it wasn't just about betraying Jon or serving his own interests. It was about betraying the Night's Watch itself. According to Thorne's rulebook, Jon bringing the wildlings south of the wall was a big no-no, a betrayal of their sacred vows. So, in his mind, that justified sticking a pointy object into Jon's gut. But here's where things get a little dicey. Despite his sense of duty, Thorne was blind to the real threat lurking out there. Despite this threat, he couldn't wrap his head around the idea of making peace or even a truce with the wildlings. So, in his stubbornness and foolishness, Thorne clung to the belief that fighting the free folk was the Night's Watch's #1 duty. Little did he know that the primary job of the Night's Watch was to save the Seven Kingdoms from icy monstrosities. Our thoughts? In the end, Ser Alliser Thorne was a man of unwavering principles, but those principles were a bit wonky. He accepted defeat and death with a calm demeanor, believing it was finally his chance to rest. But not without throwing a parting shot at Jon. He made sure to remind him that the battles would never end, that Jon would be forever stuck in the role Thorne had left behind. Ser Alliser had his moments of honor and duty, but his inability to see the bigger threat, and his stubborn refusal to adapt made him more of a cautionary tale than a hero. Maybe next time, he should consider a career in diplomacy or taking a crash course in the art of not getting killed by ice zombies. Just a thought. Let me know what you thought about this video and consider subscribing for more such content. Thanks, and have a good day.